Welcome to the Own Your Best Life podcast. I'm May Emson, your host, leadership and mindset coach. Here, we talk all things spiritual, mindset, business, leadership, and wellness for the modern seeker who wants to align their life with purpose and inspiration. We'll cover career changes, stress management, meditation, energy, intuition, and more. Each episode holds spiritual and practical tools to help you live a life of your wildest dreams without getting burnt out along the way. Ready to live a life on your own terms? This is the Own Your Best Life podcast. Welcome, friends, to episode number 86 of the Own Your Best Life podcast. So anytime that we begin to step into a new arena of growth, whether it is a larger scope or maybe even a different environment, a different organization, a different career or role, we have to cross that bridge of leadership. And whether it's leadership of ourselves or leadership of others, we would love to feel confident to lead ourselves and to lead other people. But how do we actually do that? So today we are going to understand what it takes to build confidence as a leader. According to the Oxford Dictionary, confidence is a feeling or belief that you can rely on someone or something. It is firm trust. It's a feeling of self-assurance arising from one's appreciation of one's own abilities and qualities. So I'd like to start with the definition of confidence because most people feel like confidence is something that is bequeathed to people. We think about how other people just seem to ooze confidence or that they seemed born to lead. And while we might have some natural inclinations or desires to be more or less extroverted or introverted, we can't confuse confidence with these type of personality characteristics. And many of you can think about people who you have a lot of confidence in that aren't loud and they're not in your face about everything. There's a sense of quiet confidence that you notice or you feel, and they seem naturally good at this thing that they are doing. And so when you go back to that definition, what I really love about it is this idea that we are appreciating one's own abilities and one's own qualities, that we can rely on someone or something. And I'm going to talk about practicing because confidence usually arises after a period of time spent doing something. And when we practice something, whether it is a presentation, whether it is a pitch or this new service we're offering, it'll help you feel less fear and more confident. We forget that practice is entirely within our control. Even if it means that we know that we're terrible at the beginning of something, we can practice. And that is something we can rely on. If we go back to that definition, it is something we can rely on, which is this trust that when we work on something, we get better. And that, again, is one's own ability and quality. And even when we think about practicing, what gets in the way is that we feel like we need to be good before we even start. We have all this drama in our minds about being less than perfect that we don't even do what we can do, which is to start. Start before you're ready, and then you'll be ready. And if you never start, you'll never be ready. And this is why you should say yes. Yes to opportunities to practice, even if they don't seem completely aligned to your goal yet. And I say yet because at some point they will be. You'll say yes to public speaking and presentation. Say yes to practicing your craft or your art with any client or person who wants to work with you. Say yes to writing and thinking and creating things for other people because these are the first, second, and third drafts that get better with every round. Say yes to the start and you'll realize that this is just the beginning. Practicing then doesn't become this bore or something you just don't want to do. It becomes what raises your value in the marketplace and with yourself. It builds your confidence and it builds your skills. It is the act of doing something And that is extremely important in terms of building confidence as a leader. It is the act of doing the thing. It is leading because you are not confident, but you are leading anyways, and that builds your confidence. And the second thing I want to speak to is this idea of learning. If you need to learn more to build your confidence, then do it. People often just stop moving forward because they don't address the obstacles. They just think about them. They think about all the things they don't know, and they think about all the things they'll have to learn. And instead of signing up for a class, a mentorship, or coaching, they just keep thinking about what they don't know. And instead of solving the problem of not knowing how to move forward, they spend time ruminating on not moving forward. And we'll never know everything about new arenas that we're playing in. The more we know, the more we realize we don't know. And this is what every successful coach, achiever, and leader understands. They don't have all the answers, and they're okay learning and failing in order to figure out the answers. Your speed in terms of figuring out what you don't know will determine how quickly you build your confidence and therefore your value as a leader. So again, your speed to action in learning the things that you believe you need to know will make it key. But there is also this differentiation, because a lot of people get into this mode of where they just learn and learn and learn, and they never do. And they never apply, and they never integrate it, and they never actually make it their own. So learn enough that you actually can take it and run with it, and then stop that learning for a second and learn on the job. Learn as you do and take that experience. I like to think about learning as these different buckets where, let's say, 50 or 60% of your learning is done doing the work on the job. And there are other pieces of learning that you're going to do that is a lot more formal type of learning, and sometimes informal when you think about networking or mentorship as well. But we often think that we have to study a thing a lot before we ever do it, or vice versa. We only do, and we never actually go out and learn about other best practices or what is the most current research in this space or some thought leadership in this space. So making time to do all of these things is going to be important. If you lean heavily towards wanting to just do and not learn a little bit more formally, take the time to go learn something a little bit more formally to refine your skill sets. If you are someone who loves to just learn and not do, then take this opportunity to do more and learn from the job, learn from the doing. All right. And the next thing I want to talk about is this idea of how to be confident if you've never done this before. This often comes up. When you've never done something before, you naturally feel a sense of fear or a sense of being an imposter. I remember thinking, what if they find out that I'm not this smart after I started working at McKinsey, not realizing that everyone thinks the same thing. And at this moment is when we can decide whether or not we're committed. Not attached to things being a certain way or another way, but really committed to this goal. So if we're committed to this goal of self-leadership, of leading in this new way into new arenas, of leading others, we're going to have to come to a point where we say, this is something we'll always be facing, right? What if I told you that you will always be facing things you've never done before until the day you die? You might not ever feel smart or accomplished enough. Yet, we want to move forward into doing things we've never done before. And this means that life will always be somewhat uncomfortable. And when you reach that point, when you are willing to feel all kinds of emotions, all kinds of feelings, including fear and discomfort, you're at the perfect place to learn, to grow, to evolve, and to become even better at what you do, no matter what it is. And this is really important. Most people are unwilling to feel bad about themselves. So if they've never done something before, they pull back and they don't even bother trying. And I love to remind myself and other people that you're going to feel uncomfortable anyway. So why not do it on the path to something you desire, like learning how to lead and create massive value in this world? And if you want to be confident in yourself with something you've never done before, you can also remind yourself of all the things you've already done that you didn't know how to do at some point. This goes back to that definition where they talk about the qualities of a person. These are things you can go back to and say, I'm the kind of person that figures things out. And this is why becoming a person who does what they say, who continues to set and achieve goals is so important in building your self-identity and your self-concept as a leader. Even if you fail on your way towards achieving them, even if you have to redo some goals and you keep trying, that is also okay. Leaders know that they are the ones people look to when all else fails. They're not the one that does not ever fail. They are just the one that people look to when things fail. They're the ones who bring certainty, a sense of direction and clarity and confidence to a situation instead of waiting for that certainty and confidence and clarity to come to them. And that's when you realize it's not about getting things right. It's about being calm enough in the moment of things failing and going wrong that you are willing to feel that emotion of stress or overwhelm and uncertainty and decide to come back to that feeling of certainty, of purpose, of calm, and moving forward with a new plan of action. If you can imagine a world where you get to create the rules and the future, this is the game. You know how to play this game, even if you don't know what's going to happen next. And this is the world we're living in, but most people don't realize it. They don't realize that this is the price of achieving. It's in believing in yourself. And believing in yourself doesn't come without that price of feeling discomfort. Believing in yourself is knowing, though, that you can and are willing to manage through discomfort. Welcome it all. Just say, I'm here for it all. I'm welcoming it all. I can feel all the feelings. And there's also a really specific situation that comes up in terms of being confident and feeling confident and building confidence when you feel other people know more than you. I remember very clearly so many times in my career when others knew more than me. When I was leading a pick-pack operation at a distribution center in Tennessee just out of college as part of a leadership development rotational program. And I also remember feeling when other people knew a lot more than me, that moment of being a new consultant when I was a new consultant at McKinsey, just out of business school. So these age and experience gaps, however, are all things, and were all things that are outside of my control. And what I learned is that you'll lose confidence in yourself if you focus only on the things outside of yourself that you cannot change, like other people's experiences, other people's thoughts, their reactions. And instead of just rebelling against authority or thinking that you can't manage knowing other people may know more, you just have to be the one who knows everything, we focus instead on what we can do. And the one thing we can do is be aware of what we are facing and not ignore the reality of an age gap or an experience gap. Then we can decide how to address it. Even if you know that it's not going to stop you, doesn't mean that you can't see it, recognize that it does present an issue for you to lead when these things arise, when you don't know something, or maybe when your age looks so much younger than someone else. There are things you can then do about it, right? You can speak to the age or experience gap. You can name it. We can be honest about what we don't know. And most importantly, we can focus on what we do know. And so the world is going to be filled with people who continuously know and will know more than you do about a certain area. And that is a good thing. That is a good thing, people. We can lean on them for help, support, and guidance. And leadership is not about knowing more than everyone else. Leadership is about bringing people together who have the knowledge and the experience to move things forward and helping to connect the dots. It's about the growth and the development of the people who will help to grow and develop you as well. So it's this cyclical, very symbiotic relationship where if we are pitting ourselves against other people, it will be a no-win situation. But if you are collaborating, if you are coming together, if you see your role as the one who provides framework, structure, bringing people together and utilizes experience and expertise of yourself as well as others. It will be much more of that team sport where we rely on that collective strength than on the individuals alone. And this is usually that break point most people struggle with the most as they move from self-leadership to team leadership. They want to still know more about everything than any other person, and this creates this big gap in the ability to lead. And true confidence comes knowing when your abilities are yours to develop and that you can build them by practicing, learning, and believing in yourself and focusing mostly on that instead of what does everyone else know that I don't know and how that is a problem. So believing yourself is no small thing, though, when it comes to the unknown. Yet it's the most important thing for us to create a world that hasn't yet been created. If we want to lead ourselves to experience lives with more wealth, health, spirituality, and wholeness, we must create it and lead ourselves and others, even when things feel uncertain and uncomfortable. So you can remind yourself that the moment you doubt, the moment you start to doubt is the moment you can begin to exercise this muscle. I like to think of confidence as a muscle. You can exercise this muscle of confidence. You can practice it. You can learn and believe in yourself over and over and over again until you feel like a natural. Practice, learn, believe in yourself. Practice, learn, believe in yourself. Just keep doing it over and over and over again. Until then, there is no way out but through it, my friend. So keep building your confidence as a leader because the world needs you. All right, so if this topic resonates with you and you want to learn how to see those transformational results, build your own sense of leadership for yourself and for others in your life, whether they are in new or different spaces that you are starting to walk into, you will love coaching. When you get coached consistently, you are exposed to your own thinking, you get someone to watch your brain, and it is that first step in starting to get clarity, moving past that point of feeling stuck and moving forward. So you can go to www.mayempson.com/contact to learn more. And if you want to learn how to create more meaningful and purposeful goals, I'm holding a workshop on December 12th. You can go to mayempson.com/yourbestyear to sign on up. We will craft a year of your best life at this retreat together, and you will not want to miss it. And finally, I have a free offer for you. If you want to start meditating more and want in on some of the meditations that I have done myself for years, for decades, and that I have given to my clients as well, you will want to jump in to the meditation series. It's the Spiritual Achiever Meditation Series, and you can download it at www.mayempson.com/meditation series. You're welcome. Hope you have a good one. I will talk to you all very soon, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for joining us this week on Own Your Best Life. Make sure to subscribe to the show on iTunes or wherever you listen to podcasts so that you'll never miss a show. And while you're at it, can you please rate and review on iTunes? I would so appreciate it. Share it with a friend, take a screenshot of it, and tag @MayEmpson. This helps continue to get the word out. For more show notes and resources, check out www.mayempson.com. It'll have all the links to everything you heard here today. Thanks so much for listening. It's time to own your best life.